Hi guys, hope you're well. Today I'm doing an introduction video for the FCE and CAE writing exams from Cambridge. If you're new to these exams, you don't have much experience, hopefully they'll be quite useful for you. And I've basically just narrowed it down into 3 basic steps because a lot of people do complain about teaching this, not quite sure what they're supposed to be doing. So the first thing I've put, as you can see here, is that practice makes perfect. This is really, really important. This is a very important part of the exam, and the students do need to practice as much as possible. A lot of teachers kind of shy away from teaching this. They think it's boring. They're not quite sure how to incorporate it into lessons. It is extremely important. Why? Well, it can take between 7 and 9 months to change your students' writing habits. So if you're just starting to do it at the end of the course, you're pretty much wasting your time. There needs to be a little bit of discretion involved with this because, look, I've got, for example, an FCE group, and they come at night. They're working professionals. Our class is from about 7:15 till 8:45. I'm not going to sit them down and say, look, we're going to do a writing today for a complete writing. Not regularly anyway. Maybe we might do one exercise or something. But certainly for homework, certainly from time to time, if you feel the energy in the group is right, you want to sit them down and give them a writing question in the class. This does create an exam condition if you're doing it in silence and putting them under that pressure, which if they do it at home, sometimes they won't do it. They'll go away, grab a coffee, come back, write a little bit more, go watch an episode of whatever, come back, write a little bit more. They're not getting that authentic experience. So from time to time, do make them do it in class, or at least at home, okay? People will complain that it's boring. My response to that is always, only boring people get bored. It's amazing how quickly they stop complaining if you say that. Okay, planning, part 2. Planning, I'm going to do another video in detail about how to do this, but make sure you teach how to plan. For example, a first certificate exam. For each writing, there's going to be 2 of them. For each writing, you've got about 40 minutes to get it done. 10 minutes of that should be planning, 30 minutes writing, okay? So you've got 10 minutes to plan, and it's incredibly important that students do that. There's so many reasons for that. I'll do another video about that in detail, but teaching planning, make sure you get that done, because if not, if they just try and go and improvise a piece of writing, it generally turns out terrible. Those who plan pass is the general rule. Okay. So the last part, this is the marking criteria for the written exam. Okay, they are marked on content, communicative achievement, which I've contracted there because I was too lazy to write it, organization, and language. 5 points per category there. Okay, you need to be aware of that when you're marking it. So I'm aware of this problem, right? You get the piece of paper, you've got the writing, you look at it and you think, how do I mark this? Like, what am I basing this on? Use these 4 points. Content, have they answered the question? And is the material inside that writing relevant? So if the question is, write a review of a restaurant, and they write a review of a movie, content is going to be bad because none of that is going to be relevant. So is the content relevant? Communicative achievement. Have they communicated? Of course, this is not going to be perfect. Even if you write it as a native speaker, your writing is not always perfect. But has communication been impeded? Do you understand where they're going with it? Are they using the right register? Is it formal or informal? If you're writing a letter to your friend and it starts with, hello, good sir, or good afternoon, sir, the communicative achievement is off because the register is completely wrong. It's way too formal. Pay attention to that. Organization. So the structure of it. Paragraphs, subheadings if it's a report, for example. Connecting words like although, however. Adverbs that allow you to explain more things. Is there a structure? Have they started with an answer and then just waffled? Have they put the conclusion at the beginning and then done an introduction at the end? So you're looking very specifically at the structure of the essay or whichever piece of writing it is. And finally, language. So have they shown flexibility? Whatever you're teaching in class, it could be passive, present continuous, future forms. They need to start demonstrating some of these forms in their writing. A big argument that I have is that people give me texts written in present simple. Cheese is good. I like cheese. I go to the shop and I buy cheese. Right? Nice life, right? If that's your life. And it's perfect. Spelling wise, there are no mistakes. It's a list of things they've done in their day. And I give them 0. And they complain. And I say, well, what have you demonstrated to show that you have an upper intermediate level or advanced, whatever it needs to be, that separates you from a 5-year-old child writing? Okay, so you're not just looking at their mistakes, you're looking at what language they're showing you. This is in the language part. So concentrating on these 3 things will allow you, I hope, to teach better classes for writing. I'm going to go into much more detail on some of these points, but thank you for tuning in, and I hope it's of some assistance to you. Thanks.